been arguing for the last few years that it's simply unfair for the British government, through the British Business Bank, which is excellent, is the largest investor in venture and science and technology in Britain. Foreign sovereign funds from the Far East, from the Middle East, have been accessing British venture. But for all of this time, ordinary British pensioners and private schemes haven't been able to access the returns that are there. So what does this mean? It means you've now got a far more equitable distribution. People with pensions will be able to access Britain's leading science and technology, also one of the most entrepreneurial, high-growth small business economies in the world as well. So this overall, I think, is a game changer. We're delighted.
Douglas, let's talk practically about returns, because it does coincide with a time when savers are actually rewarded for putting money into just basic savings accounts, what 5% you can achieve. So what are we talking about in terms of the potential gains that could be coming from this area of the high growth market?
Absolutely. So if you look at venture in the 5 years to the end of 2021, returns there were 23% on an annualized basis. And that's a huge number if you compare that to investing in government bonds, where as interest rates rise, as inflation rises, you're losing. So it's a great thing for insurance companies, for pensions, for local government pensions, to be able to actually diversify. And we're still talking about a very small percentage of their allocation, 5% on a voluntary basis. But this will give them the opportunity to do it. And as those returns continue to be strong, then of course we'd probably expect that to rise even further.
Let me pick up on one key word there, Douglas, and that's voluntary. The Chancellor has not opted for any kind of mandatory scheme when it comes to these investments. What are the odds that the pension funds actually take advantage of the new reforms?
Well, what's very interesting about this is you've got 50 billion from insurance companies and direct contribution pension funds, but 25 billion, or 1/3 of the total talked about, is from local government pensions. Combined, this gives Britain one of the largest pension pools in the world, certainly the largest in Europe. And if you look at the local government pensions, we've been managing money for one of them for the last 5 years. And also recently on record, Doug McMurdo, who is on the Joint Committee of Britain's largest local government pension, Border to Coast, he's saying that they're delighted, after a lot of skepticism at the beginning, delighted with pooling and want to move more to private markets. So actually, the biggest risk with the Chancellor's statement was he's talking about 7 years, and it's not compulsory or mandatory. But in fact, a lot of these pensions wants to get there already. And we ourselves, with Timpson, one of Britain's largest and most loved sustainable retail groups, are launching with their plan a concrete bid for a government mandate for £250 million right now. So things are happening.
Is there any reason